छाया आसमान देखो झूमता गगन है छाया आसमान देखो झूमता गगन
Hello, hello, hello. Are we hot? Is this thing working? Can anybody hear me? It is Wednesday, July 8th, and we're live. I think so. The Astrology live stream. Allastrology gives free speed readings. Get your digits to me. Email's right there at the bottom of the screen. It is first come, first serve. And that's based on how your name shows up in the queue. We follow that order, as in Manjit is first, would be number 1. Jim or JLMW22 would be number 2. Now, when I come upon your name, if I don't have your digits, I go on to the next name. You follow? Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state, full digits. If you don't have a birth time, don't make it up. Let me know. Just be honest, and it'll turn out better for you. So that's the order we go in the chart, right? If you are here, you just want to say hello, you just want to listen, you just want to whatever, hang out, and you are not taking a turn, please, in the chat, put the words pass. Just say I'm passing, and then we don't have to spend time asking if you're here and blah, blah, blah. Okay, Jazzy Bella, Francesca, thank you for putting that in there. That makes sense. I already have your digits. All right. Manjit, I'm Nikki from South Africa. What's going on, Nikki from South Africa? How are you? All right, top manifesting queen. Hello. All right. Listen to all these awesome names, man. Yeah, so... All right, Jim, I see your digits. You're number 2. Yep, you got your digits in there. Hammond, Indiana. What do you know? Great. Okay, so speed readings for people who do leave a gift to the channel. The payment apps are down below, Cash App and the Venmo. Some people do a PayPal. Then I spend more time on their charts, but not everybody can afford that. So you're getting a speed reading, and we're going to begin. Make sure that if you give me your digits, if you want me to take a look, give me 1 or 2 words if there's something you want to focus on. Okay. Make it, I'm not going to say simple, but as few words as possible would be best. It just helps me to flow through this a little bit easier. So we are going to begin. And also keep in mind, once I create your chart and I'm looking at your chart, when I come back to the chat, that means I'm done with your chart. You follow? Like, there's not time for a rapport. I'm only able to do that for people who, spend time, or who want the money, the other way around, who spend the money, who want the time. And because then it takes up more time. Yeah, it's just the way it is. Digits, birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. You follow? This is astrology, and that's how I get the greatest accuracy. It's with your birth information. This is nothing more than just knowing how to read the divine language. That's what it is. So with that said, we're going to number 1. And that would be you. All right. July 7th. Oh, maybe I have this in my system already, huh? Looks familiar. Let's check this out. It's good that you put them in again, though. Every blue moon. Oh, yeah, I definitely have you here. July 7th, 1966. Is that right? Let me pull this up real quick. Yeah, let's see if the chart system's working today. Yeah. Let's hope it does this weird. I don't like this new thing that it does. I don't know. I guess it's better. I don't. It's awkward. Okay. So we've got your birth time at 12:15 a.m. India. Great. What was the? Yeah, I got all that. Okay. Yeah. What was the question though? Like, what was I focusing on? I'm sorry. I honestly, yeah, I don't know how many people's charts I looked at and how many people's charts I've looked at since then. It's Jessica, female, JM. Okay, thanks for doing that, Jessica. Am I focusing on what? Yep, that's the question. So here we go. We're just going to start. Oh yeah, you've got that Pisces moon. So this Pisces moon, like this is what's just jumping out right now. So we're going to talk about it. You have an eclipse that's happening here. Okay. And this could have to do with dreams and the future, but it's also part of the past and the karmic energy. It's creative energy, really creative energy. Pisces in the 12th. Like, whoa, right? Music and sound, poetry, film, instruments. Any way you want to be creative. But this is energy that's going to be really colorful and lively, probably a little bit overly dramatic at times too, honestly. So when the eclipse occurs, it usually is taking effect months in advance because you have it pretty much on the exact degree. You're about a degree off. And so this is going to give us, for you, a change. Because, let me double check some stuff here. Yeah, this is a lunar eclipse. So it's a lunar eclipse on the moon, right? So it's a cycle of releasing and letting go for everybody. Because it's on your moon, home and family, dream home, dream family, my dreams about being a mom, or maybe my delusions and illusions about being a mom. A deep connection, also history in the past, deep connection to spirituality, possibly traditional religions of some sort. Sometimes with people, Pisces, and that moon energy connects in with literally being people of the cloth, clergy of some sort. And so there's some sort of reverence, there's some sort of devotion, there's some sort of a deeper belief in the connection and the invisible threads that are prominent for you in this lifetime now. Faith and hope, right? So that comes through strongly, and it is what gives you your emotional security and stability and alone time. This is kind of like in the 12th house. This is kind of like if you've ever followed any of the stories, the teachings, parables of Jesus, this would be his alone time in the garden, right? Where he just said to them, hey, I'm going to need some time. Right? I need some time. So the ending of a cycle, there may be some beliefs. There may be even a traditional religion possibly, but there just might be something where you're like, oh, that's not, that's not part of my thing anymore. I'm kind of grown and I'm kind of moving on. And this could be legitimately for blood relatives and family as well. This would also speak to family being kind of like distant, far away, seeing, not seeing, confusing, like it's, where are they type of thing. Moon mom energy. Okay. So whether it's myself and my beliefs about me being a mom or a mother figure or having empathy, the connections of compassion and understanding with the Pisces moon, these people are, service and sacrifice is kind of like their thing. So maybe this can be a release and an ending as well for the beliefs around like martyrdom and the whole, sometimes when people do that whole sacrificing thing, they go through cycles of where they have sacrificed, but yet then they have this internal anger type thing over, but look what I've done, you know, and why am I always the one that's got to sacrifice? I know there's a word for that, but anyway, so it usually any change, right, wants to bring about a growth and like on a vertical way, right? We're vertically growing. Soul energy is prominent here. Children comes up with this too. Children and nurturing. But this can be institutional energy. So whether you, do that professionally, healing institutions, healing in some way. Yeah, and you have that pretty strongly. You've got a lot of water in your chart, ton of water. So the water energy and the connection to the future and the support. Let me look at your Jupiter and your Venus. It's your Venus. That's going to be your support. Okay. Your Venus is even showing institutional support energy. Venus's communications, of course, in Gemini, right? A love for talking and learning, communication and sharing information. Busy. She's the multitasker here. She does a good job at being the multitasker because Venus and Mercury are like hand-in-hand siblings. So this can be beneficial if you're a busy person. Mars at 27, Gemini, busy person. The big release is the beliefs about the future, but also some of the unseen and some of the hidden and some of the veil, some of the illusions may come down. Confusions as well, because that would be Pisces. Some of the confusion goes away. Children comes up again with the Mercury and the Moon, and you have this object, Merlin energy. Okay, Merlin. Okay. Merlin's got that fear of something going wrong, a response and being responsible for it, right? So children in the 5th, 29 degrees, 22 degrees. I'm the boss. I'm going to take over. Mom and dad energy combined here with the 0 degrees. I think I remember this now. 0 degrees is strong. Yeah. So mom and dad energy, both ends, strong and extreme energy. Okay. So Virgo in the 6th house. All right. Let me put this really quickly onto the screen real quick here. All right. Venus is going to go into there. I think that was right. The retrogrades are all going to happen. Scorpio. Yeah, that's going to be a big deal then. All right. So this is then coming down to your own health and well-being and your own ability to do what you want to do. Again, I think I mentioned the importance of getting additional support, meaning I might be doing something alone, but there are resources that I can reach out to, because your chart shows that there are resources for you and for you to reach out and to, there might be paperwork to fill out. There might be things to apply for, but there are resources. And it's something I would recommend because it's built into the chart. But also because of your Uranus and your Pluto energy, where deep changes can just suddenly occur. And it's in Virgo in your own house of your health. You follow? And so that would be something that I would want to just keep in mind, right? Just be realistic about Virgo, logical, practical, and be smart, right? And plan for these things. So not to say all doom is gloom or gloom is doom and whatnot, and there's no other things happening, but it's a matter of trying to make sure that in the event of that you have backups. Okay. So that's the main thing here. And then you already got through that, the node stuff. And let me see, 20 degrees of Leo would be the other thing. Yeah, for some reason, these are coming in big today. So let me see if you have that. Where does your... Yeah, you do. Okay. You see, you have this. Yeah. So we have another eclipse coming up. I've got videos that I have. I haven't posted them yet. I'm going to post them soon, very soon. So 20 degrees, this is a change. So there is a change coming. Okay. And the change involves possibly children, creativity, but also possibly an authority figure. It can be a romantic partner, someone that I'm deeply bonded to or financially bonded to. 20 degrees. The eclipse that's going to be coming up, this will bring on a new beginning. It's a new moon and it's a deep change. All right. So it's not just about that though. And for you in your chart specifically, it also involves your day-to-day routines, right? And it can be heart energy, literally, because it's Leo energy. So maybe even my heart, right? So do all the things you need to do. Because now I'm remembering, I think, a little bit more in the concerns that you had for self. And can I take this on? Can I do this type of energy? And just double check things. Just, use everything, all the resources you have. Double check if there's any other additional health concerns. Like if you're making a big decision, get those things all checked out. That's kind of the best I can tell you. Other than you have a chart that says, yes, I can do this, right? You have a chart that says, sure, let's do this. Let's not hesitate. But at the same time, there might be limitations, and which is why this Pisces stuff and the support system, I think, was coming forward so strongly. Okay. So, but the change with the eclipses that are coming up, they connect strongly both ways for you at both ends. They are hitting the Leo energy and the creativity and support energy, but also deep changes on a deep level. All right, next. Hope that helps. And again, you could always come back. Like if there's ever, I have you in the system, so it's not a once and done thing. Okay. So here we go to JLM. I think JLM said, I am a female. This is Hammond, Indiana birth time. Let's see if I have you in the system already. I don't know why I think I do, but I'll create this new one if I don't have you here. Something about that looks like I might have drawn this up before. Let's take a quick peek. No, I don't see it. Okay. Well, maybe you were here before and I just never got around. Maybe it was busy. All right, let's go. Let's get your chart in here. July 15th, 1980. JLMW. So you just had oh no, you're going to have a birthday. All right, 7:01 p.m. All right, Hammond, Indiana. I know where that is. It's interesting. I think I've had some other folks from Hammond in here. Like recently. Interesting. Like for birth times, I should say, or birth locations. It's just kind of funny. It's not like it's, it's a small place. You follow? So I find that kind of fascinating. All right, let's get you on. Have you seen your chart before? Here it is. All right, July 15th, 1980, 7:01 p.m., Hammond, Indiana. And that gives me a Capricorn on the rising. And that gives a Virgo sun conjunct the Jupiter. Ooh, all in the 8th. Okay. All right. Let's see. Where is J? Oh, JLM says yes. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to scoot back. Let me see. What was JLM? I'm looking. Hope everyone's having a fantastic week. Kyria, yay, you're welcome. It's Jessica, female. Okay. All right, let's go. Let me take a look at this for a second here. This would be The details matter. Oh, the people with the Virgo in the 8th, they're able to connect those really deeply buried esoteric stuff, those connections, those details. What's crazy, though, is that you got Jupiter there, too. So that's got to be a little much, right? The emphasis on connecting all those little threads together. Okay, boss energy, Saturn at 22 in Virgo. Whoa. Focused on the long-term financial goals, the material, the tangible, but being the boss at it, really structured and organized energy. Do you know, like with that Libra energy in that 9th house, house of publishing, but this is also the placement of law, lawyers, and justice. Nice place for the Libra to be. The concern that Jupiter energy in that 8th like that can be unbelievably idealistic and maybe, too focused on the details, too focused on perfection. I would imagine that's a thing. And the moon's at 7 degrees. So this can relate to domestic energy, domestic partnerships, professional partnerships, but definitely relationships in the home. And that 8th house just knows things. Like it usually knows more than it should know. So it can be hard to navigate. When we've got people who are close by, it can be tricky. Mercury in the 7th, along with the sun, family, people who feel like they are family. That's going to be important, significant one-on-one relationships, possibly drawn to people who have similar culture, heritage, background. The sun and Uranus trine. Whoa. Big time boss energy. Fascinating. Extreme, different. Yep. I'm going to dance to my own music. A little bit on the rebellious. Yeah. Challenge authority figures. Absolutely. Holy shit. That 23, that Aquarius, Uranus, different and rebel and independent energy is quite strong here. I mean, you got it in a lot of ways. Holy crap. All right. Yeah, the beautiful thing about the Aquarian energy is it is very fixed, but it's very futuristic and it wants things to be different. Like it says we have to break away from conventional kind of stuff. So there's kind of like a divine connection of openness in the mind there with that allows new and different to come through. And I think in a way for people with fixed energy, the Aquarian energy can be a real gift. It's the innovator. It's the humanitarian. It's the inventor. That's that Aquarius energy. You have it in the house of making the money, making the moolah. This is technology, of course, right? All right, you've got the food in the 6th house with Venus. Okay, that might be a little bit of a challenge. It can be creative and crafty, wordsmith even, because this is the writer, and you've got a little bit of that in the 5th house of creativity too. But this can also take creativity towards food, but also work and tech, but also like social media, digital, vlogging, blogging, teaching, learning is big here. So with all that said, I'm going to take, okay, nothing there and 20 degrees. Okay, so here's your eclipse. I don't know where, this just began right at the live stream. As soon as we started, all of a sudden it was like, talk about the eclipses. So look at this. This is you. This is the eclipse that is coming up. This is the solar eclipse. And it is right there on your north node. So this is a new beginning, a new goal, a soul's goal. This is in your 8th house. This is the occult energy. Can be romance, can be, that kind of fun, right? Bonded partnerships, physical bonds, emotional bonds, soul bonds. It can be that. But this is telling me real clearly that there is a deep bond here. So it can be bonds with children. And I don't mean to confuse all those things like in the same sentence. Don't look at it that way. I'm just saying you can be deeply bonded with children just in general, or childlike ways, childhood, play, fun, laughter. Leo, right? Also take charge energy. I enter the room and I take charge. You are going to have a new beginning. So this new beginning will talk about your ability to be able to express creatively about the wounds and the vulnerabilities. Now, however you do that can be very artistic, which I would think would be the route to go, but that can be very inspiring, inspirational energy. Leo is colorful and takes charge and is courageous, vibrant, lively. And there's something about that energy when it has the soul energy backing it. That soul power can give it unlimited resources in terms of ways to move forward and the soul's path. So your soul's path, in case you're not, connected strongly with it, it leads to creativity and leadership roles, but the higher heart energy. Higher heart, using the heart. It's a generous energy, generosity. It's calling on kind of like an embracing of qualities that set you apart from other people. Where your originality stands out. So it's not about arrogance and pride, although it can take that route. So you have to be cautious, but it's about allowing yourself to be seen and appreciated by taking center stage, right? By getting recognition, by the spotlight being on you. But it's to inspire others to do the same, kind of creating like a ripple effect with confidence and self-love, self-worth, and self-acceptance. Connecting to the heart is going to be important. Play is important with this energy. You have to allow yourself the joy, the laughter, okay? Things that bring you natural warmth and vitality, whatever that is that lights you up. You have to figure that out. If you don't know what it is, it's time to figure it out. If you don't know what that is, this new beginning will help you. It is definitely less about being in the background. This is more about being out front, okay? Celebrating who you are. All right. So the heart energy is aligning with your own path, finding fulfillment, becoming a beacon of light for yourself and for others. Got it? That's it. That's your new beginning. That's what's coming down the pike for you. I hope that helps, because with Jupiter and Leo, which is what we have right now, you'll get more help. The thing is I want to stress that because this technically happens in the 8th house of wounds, where there's wounds, there's vulnerabilities. And so the connection between this and those wounds, because these wounds are deeply buried, they can be wounds with authority figures. Sometimes people literally need to seek help, like someone to actually talk to figure out and to work through what those wounds may be. But this is all just for the point of moving forward, not moving backward and staying there. It's to move forward with it, to process it, to heal. This is the 8th house, the placement of healing the past. Okay. Okay, we're moving on. Number 3 would be Jezebella. Francesca, I got your digits. Are you still here, Francesca? After Francesca, it's going to be, I think, South Africa. You're next. Johannesburg, BMAC, you'll be next in line if you're still here. So Francesca, you're up. Are you here? Roll call. Jezebella said, I'm here. Wanted to know about the love, past, new, something about July 14th and August 28th. Gotcha. All right, we'll check those dates real quick for you. July 14th, August 28th for Jezebella. Let's make sure we got you. I know we do. Francesca. Let's see. Okay, let's get you on the screen. I need water. All right. All right, BMAC. You'll be after this one. Well, July 14th is not far off. Let's take a look at that. Okay, so what do you got here? I mean, that time of the month is a big those are big energies. That's when we've got all the outer stuff starting to really connect. 4, 4, 4. Let me see if you got anything in the opposition. Isis. Okay. 4. Okay, you got this. You got your sun. Francesca, this is your chart, right? Virgo on the ascendant. Just double checking. A Virgo ascendant at 23, and you've got and you have your moon up there, 17 degrees. Yeah, the romance degree. I'm just saying. In your 9th house, and the constant thoughts about the future, and that, yeah, and the emotional satisfaction with that. So the Mars will be at 11 degrees at that time. So the following 2 weeks really moves like 4 degrees in a week. So you'll have like 14 days where Mars will be touching in on your moon. Oh, you're going to have Pandora's box coming upon this there. Okay, let me move this around a little bit. You got nothing at the big things. You do have the Neptune getting close to your Chiron, which is the wound that has to do with yourself and the freedom within the significant one-on-one relationships. You follow? Like your identity, your freedom, the appearance, maybe just the appearance of appearing to be single as opposed to married or whatnot. Again, it's the beliefs about that, okay? And the illusions connected to that. This is at 4, this is at 2. This is happening right now, just so you know, okay? Like this is already here. So I don't think that's going to be a new thing for you. Jupiter will have hit the 3 degrees. It's already past your sun, which was at 2. You follow? But Jupiter, like a week later after this or so, you'll have Jupiter and Mercury connecting. So that may bring some wanted communication by way of, romance, energy, and communication, like desirable, like something that you're looking forward to. Can also be boss energy and coworker energy, but definitely Mercury at the 7 degrees of significant one-on-one relationships. Now, maybe it's because it's the Jupiter energy squaring your Saturn exactly. Maybe that's a thing that's there, something beneficial to bonded energy. So that's possible. That's possible. I would like to see multiple things, though. So if I move this up a little bit for you, let's see if we can see another connection. Yeah, Jupiter's already moved to 4, so it's passing up your Saturn and your Sun. Okay, the Sun will be here at 29. Yeah, Jupiter going through Leo, the house of friends and social circles. Let me see, where's your natal Venus at 18? Yeah, that's what I need to know. Okay, so that's square energy. All right. And that's going to be some time off. Yeah, we're even looking for the opposition to that Jupiter. Well, here we go on July 21st. This is Mars touching the moon. Usually our emotions are a little fired up. Usually communication and taking action is a big deal. We're not just talking anymore, we're acting upon it. And so again, this is coming in. This is just kind of, like I said, conversation though. So let me move forward to your, what did you say, August 14th? August 28th. Yeah. All right. Real quick here, because, yeah. Okay, so the nodes are in Aquarius, nodes are in Leo at this time. Are they affecting 29, 28 Neptune? Aha. Well, the nodes will be touching on the Neptune energy in the bonded energy, Neptune and Scorpio. Okay. So the fantasy, the dream, the illusion of the bonded energy is going to have a T square here. Right? And so this is even before this day, but let me see, what are you talking about? Something happening on this day. 11 degrees connection. You've got the sun and Mercury going through the 12th house. This is information, backdoor information, hidden information. May have to do with work and coworkers, possibly. It is a square. Both of these will end up squaring strongly to your Mercury at this time, which can make communication difficult. And this is also triggers your Hygeia over here. So it's the communication and the beliefs about the future. This is significant one-on-one relationships. It has to do with your beliefs about that and the details that emerge, but they're going to be likely confusing. So this can be a little, I would take this with a grain of salt. Okay. Let time show you what the truth is, because we're talking 12th house energy that really can just mess Mercury up. And that's what we're discussing here. And this is talking about the health of something, the health of the beliefs, the health around learning, the health around communication, the health around talking, reading, writing. But it's significant one-on-one relationships and my beliefs and the future of that. So that's what's happening on this day here. Okay. And I think it will be a thing because your Neptune and the nodes are also making contact. So it can be revelations. It can be that the rose-colored glasses come off, right? That you may, who knows, maybe it was someone that you thought was a crush, like that you looked upon and thought, ooh, and then maybe something comes along and all of a sudden you see that person in a different light, or vice versa. You follow? It can go both ways, because it's all about relating and communicating. And the way I think and my perceptions is Neptune energy. And you got it two ways on this day, your perceptions. All right. So just kind of take it with a grain of salt and let time play out to show you the truth, because there's a lot of Neptune involved. Okay, South Africa, it's your turn. Let's go, South Africa. Let's get you on the chart. Or let's get a chart up for you. BMAC. Hey, have I drawn this up before? This one sounds familiar too. BMAC 3483. Let's see here. July 23rd. Yeah, it sounds familiar. Yeah, I think I did, but that's okay. Well, maybe it was somebody else in Johannesburg. That's a damn good possibility. Okay. Let's see what we can see here. Oh, let's get it on the screen. Have you seen your chart before? Let me get my phone. Have you guys put a thumb up for the live stream? Anything you can do to help the live stream, or to help the channel, I should say, is much appreciated. I purposefully do not allow ads during these live streams, like purposefully do that. And if you appreciate that, I'd appreciate you showing the channel some love and appreciation back for that. Okay, well, it's your turn. Let's see. So you've seen your chart before. That's good. Let me try to get this off the screen. So after B Mac, it's going to be Top Manifesting Queen. Top Manifesting Queen, you will be next. And then I'm looking for the next person who has digits because that's how it's going to be. I came 2 days ago. Okay, we already got that one. That person asked digits. It is free. You get a speed reading for free. All right. Okay. So Top Manifesting Queen, you're next. And then after that is the one who's giving me digits after that. STRMHUB. Hub. Yeah. Stream Hub. You will be second. Okay. And then we're just going to kind of go like that because that's all I can. All right. It's BMAC's turn. All right. We got you on the screen. And this chart, just so you know real quick, this is showing that you are a Libra rising. And I've got you here as a Pisces moon. Did you hear what I said earlier? Oh, you have, no wonder. Everyone that's coming in has an eclipse. Y'all are having eclipse energy going on. That makes sense. Okay. All right. Let me check this real quick before I go further. Oh, Storm Hub was taken. Got it. All right. Okay. There we go. So what we're looking at is, I was actually looking for confirmation. Did you say, yeah, that you are a Pisces moon at 15 and you're a Libra rising at 13? Did you say that this makes sense to you, that this is you? BMAX says correct. I hope that's what that means. Yeah, new to the channel, welcome. Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. We do speed readings. If you want more time spent on your chart, you gift the channel gifts you back. How do you know what number you are? I don't know. I wish I knew. We're just going in order of the stream. So you just follow the names. Like right now, BMAC is up. But a lot of the names that are in here, they're not going to get a reading because they don't have their digits. So you just skip over those people. So you could have a pretty good chance at getting a reading. Plus, some people don't wait. They don't have patience and they leave. You kind of just got to take a chance on me. Take a chance on this. If it works for you, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. All right. So 15-degree Pisces moon, the eclipse energy that's coming up. This will be a lunar eclipse for you. Okay, so a lunar eclipse normally, because that means it's a full moon. So we're ending a cycle. Now, this may have to do with your beliefs about your future and your work, your day-to-day routines. It can be domestic energy, like where you live, right? But your beliefs about those things, the way that you talk about and communicate about that, maybe even hope. I'm hearing hope for the future type of energy, but spirituality, meditation, and health for self, health for, whether you work in the health industry, and that can be in a lot of different ways. Doesn't have to be, some people are caregivers, some people are nurses, some people are doctors, some people, alternative modalities for healing and health, because you've got Virgo in the 12th house. You also have Mars there. Okay, let's take a look at some other things. Okay, Jupiter is, all right, so Mars is the great malefic in your chart, your physical body, so your energy. So the Mars energy can be tricky, especially in the 12th house, because it will need solitude. It will need rest, prayer, meditation, yoga, things that aren't so extreme would be better for this kind of this Mars energy. But a focus on health, of course, because your South Node is here. But the moon energy, homes and family, nurturing. And the nurturing can be emotionally, we nurture somebody. We can, like my mom, when she was in her apartment, she had people who would come in, and part of their routine was not just to sit and talk with her, but there was food prep and cleaning. Cleaning was big. Helping her stay clean, other than just sweeping floors, right? But the details, the nails, the hair, like a lot of the minutia stuff was a big deal. So your goal on this ecliptic sort of energy that you'll be having a release and a let go with has to do with whatever it is you're focused on now and what's part of your daily routine. Okay? Work and health and home. It's all the same in this area. It's at both locations is what I'm saying. So a big part of this asks you to be more grounded, because music and fantasy and escape, right? And got to get away type of energy, you know how to do really well. Art and creative stuff. That is the energy of I have to check out. I have to check out. So this energy is saying to not get lost in daydreams. Okay. It also says you have a high level of sensitivities to everybody, basically. It's Pisces moon, and a Pisces South Node, which is connected to suffering. During these times of suffering, physical illness can occur. So feeling of powerlessness. Okay. So there is a drive for perfection. Okay. And so that can be difficult to see. So it's a time of finding, when am I being too focused on the details and things being just perfectly so, like being too critical, right? The analytical eye. Yeah. It's a focus on just being in the moment and breathing, and not to focus on anybody else really but yourself, because the stress and the tension comes of other people's failures and possibly passing judgments on others, judgments on yourself. Compassion comes up, compassion and wisdom, to be as part of your daily routine and as a practical use for all of humanity. So it looks like a good time to connect with maybe a form of a spiritual teaching or healing. Okay. I know this is complicated energy because it asks you to let go of one thing, but yet when you have Virgo in the same location as Pisces, it's still like a modge-podge of both energies mixed together. So what does that mean? It means we're looking for balance. We're looking for a balance. Okay. So with that said, maybe the release and the full moon energy, the eclipse energy that comes, maybe that will help. Maybe that will help in terms of releasing something from the past, especially if it's unwanted energy that's connected to the past. Because this would be karmic energy and soul bonded energy. You follow? It for sure would. So your eclipse for you, 6th house cosplaying, health, day-to-day routines, work, but the connection between your mental, your emotional, physical health and well-being, and your spiritual well-being, and it all being connected. So taking care of all of that, checking all the boxes and trying to achieve the balance of the details. Okay. I hope that helps, and I hope that makes sense for you. All righty, we are moving on. So after B Mac, Bruce, I see you're here. Okay, hold on, Bruce. We're gonna get you in here somewhere. We've got all these folks who showed up. We're gonna get to them. All right, so B Mac, I got you done. And is Top Manifesting Queen here? I think that's who I said was next. Did Top Manifesting Queen check back in when I said her name? Not that I can see. Let me check the phone real quick. All right, let me check this. All right, so we're moving on. I don't see anything from Top Manifesting Queen. Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to read a chart if you're not here. There we go. All righty. So it looks like, just so that I'm clear on this, after Top Manifesting Queen is, oops, wrong one. Evelyn Blue. Looks like Evelyn Blue was next. Is Evelyn Blue here? I sent mine, but I can't see now. Does it show in the chat? Oh, well, hold on. Maybe somebody else says they have digits here that I don't see their digits. I just see, is it free guys for that person? All right. So for this person, I think you think you're next. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. We'll just call you Elna. You don't have your birth digits, so I go to the next name. You follow? So you could always get back in the chat with your birth digits. And I mean, I see, yeah, Evelyn Blue, you're next. And Evelyn Blue said she's here. Okay, Bruce, I see you sent your Venmo. Thank you so very much. I appreciate that. We're going to get Evelyn Blue going up, and then we'll see where we're at and get you going. So, all right, we have October 31st. October 31st, 1987. And 7:10 p.m. Coventry, England. I think it's going to tell me. Yeah, United Kingdom. They never want to. Hey, Evelyn, have you seen your chart before? Let's double check everything. October 31st, 1987. All righty. All right, 7:10 p.m. Got that. Coventry, England. Coventry, United Kingdom. Okay. So let's pin that one, get that away, and then that hopefully I'll remember that's there. All right, so this is showing you as a Gemini, 29 degrees. You have Chiron on your ascendant, and your moon, another Pisces moon at 5 degrees. Are y'all seeing this? Are y'all seeing back to back to back charts for the eclipse that's coming up? Are y'all seeing this? Yeah. Wow. So that trines, your moon and your sun trine each other. Wow. Mom and dad. All right, got to move that leg. Okay. Very good. That's wild. And your Mercury, retrograding Mercury at 0. Whew. All righty. Yeah. Oh, top manifesting queen. I see your comments now. Well, I'm, yeah, I don't know why that happens. Okay, so Evelyn Blue, we're looking at you. You've got the eclipse energy happening in the house of career, your long-term goals. Yeah, you again, yours is exact. Now, just so that we're clear on this energy, this is a lunar. Okay, so it's like a full moon, is what that means. So release the ending and a let go. Now, in that 10th house, you may be making some choices as far as what I no longer am going to be building, what I'm done with, a duty, a job, work, career responsibility, right? It is in Pisces. So if you're doing artistic stuff, great. Then it makes sense, especially if you're someone creating and you finish something. Like I'm completing it and I'm selling it and it's gone. I'm releasing it. Like if it's that, wonderful. Leo energies is the way this degree works. Children, fun, joy, creativity can have to do with healthcare, possibly, because it's also institutional energy and being the boss, right? It's boss energy as well here. But it's whatever it is that you're currently in the midst of. And this could have to do with the belief about your future, the belief about my financial security, my dreams about the future, my financial security. You know, people often, oh, when I retire, I'm going to do this, right? Or what that security and retirement looks like, right? So there's a release and a let go with that energy. It's the ending of a cycle and a new one is going to begin. That's just how it works because we evolve. Okay. So now this could be the end of a boss. Maybe you're done being the boss, or maybe an actual boss, right? An authority figure in your life of some sort. This could even involve your spiritual, if you have your own little, whether it's traditional religion or some sort of a routine, some sort of this energy is very structured and organized, right? So maybe there's just something within the structure and the organization itself that is ending, which could be like departments ending. It doesn't have to be like the whole thing being dismantled, but achievements and needing recognition is the 10th house energy as well. So maybe, right, because a person's moon is here, well, they're going to want the recognition. They're going to want that. And so if we're kind of maturing in life, right, sometimes we get to a point where we kind of move beyond self. Okay. But Pisces moon are usually quite sensitive, empathic, understanding individuals. Having it in the moon, yeah. Usually they can be caring and loving. But I think because the 10th house is more cold and harsh, there can be extremes of oversensitivity to maybe even cold and distant, probably out of survival. It says here you will need to seek security through social status and career, right? The public too. The public is the moon as well. Home, family, housing, right? What are we building? Absolutely. And dealing with the public. So something is just done. You're completing it. Okay. So I would think that you already have a really good idea about what this is. Because this can have to do with all those things I mentioned, but also with your sun, because your sun trines your moon. So to me, when people have their moon and their sun trining, these people are confident. Their emotions and their even their willpower, it's like energy that combines as one. So they come across as, very confident energy. They feel good about themselves. And you're going to have a depth to you, which is wonderful. So it's not just, it's not just all of that energy where it's just flapping the lips just to move the lips. Okay. So you should already kind of be in this. All right. Yeah. And the Mercury at the 0 degrees also is part of this in the sense that it will trine this, because you have the big, strong water trine that's always here. So the eclipse triggers it. So it in essence, you're triggering the entire trine, right? And bonded energy, financial values, bonded money, right? Our shared values. It's in the house of creative and the super detective, investigating and research. Yeah, and doing that kind of stuff for fun. Yeah, the super snooper. That's Scorpio energy. I mean, you have Pluto and the Sun and Mercury all in Scorpio. Holy crap. I don't think anybody's going to get by on you. No one's going to be able to lie, making stuff up. It's also insurance money. All right, so let's move this on. My message not sent. All right, everybody, chill out there in the chat. It's going to be okay. This is not a once and done thing. I am here every week. You're going to be okay. All right. So after that one, Top Manifesting Queen is here. So let me get to Top Manifesting Queen, and then I've got person who sent in a Venmo. So we're going to get his chart up and take care of that. Okay. So Top Manifesting Queen, let's see where you are at. I got your chart already here. Let's double check your digits with what you've got on the screen. August 28th, 1979. Yeah. 12:05 p.m. Nairobi. Gotcha. All right, let's get that in here. Oh, I'm trying to get this. Okay. Yeah, sometimes these, we just have to have a little patience. I know we're used to the technology being instant and quick. All right, so let's check. Have you seen your chart before? Okay, you have a Scorpio moon in the 12th house. You're just going to know things. And a lot of it, you're like, I don't want to know this. You're going to know shit that you don't even want to know. And you don't have a choice. Comes to you any time of the day, can come to you definitely during sleep. It comes as knowings, deep knowings, for sure. 5th house, children, fun, joy, creativity, romance, home and emotions, and family and feelings. You have a lot of stuff from the past here. Okay. Career. I see the Virgo jumping out at the top there, North Node in Virgo. So you had, okay. So you had a change this year. You had a big change, probably. Should have been. A nodal reversal. South node on top of your north node, which gets us lined up with our soul's goal. So if you weren't lined up as far as work and career, this demands you do something that's deeply meaningful for a career, for a job, okay? And if we're doing it the right way, we get done with the career and then we go on to our vocation. You follow? Yeah. We know it's something that we just keep working at. This is deeply purposeful and meaningful. And I got to tell you, Virgo energy, normally, it's they can be kind of like the jack of all trades. They want to come in and make something better. They're the fixer. They're like, okay, how can I improve upon this, right? That's that Virgo stuff. Virgo sun, Virgo Venus, 4 and 5 degrees, mom, home, family, the public, healthcare, cleanliness, organizing, very freaking structured and organized. These are really good workers. And they do the most important work. This is the placement of service. These people serve in a one-on-one way, but yours is in a deeply meaningful way. And this makes me think of folks that literally are working with my mom right now. She's in hospice. And these are people who are just, working with people who are terminal, people who not only are just terminal, but who every minute is a major struggle. And so they just, my gosh, I feel like those people who do that kind of work, they've got it. Like this, it's got to be a calling. I don't know how else they do it. I mean, because I can see like some of the stuff that goes on and how, holy crap. I'm like, I don't know how they do it. They're amazing. So this is deep energy here. It's also respect in the 10th house and recognition, even dignity. Having the 10th house stuff, it does speak to having, it's kind of like the placement of my public life. Yeah. And that service energy, maybe, just maybe with the Virgo energy there, maybe there's, times where volunteer work kind of occurs and happens because maybe some of the Virgos like, oh, I can probably step in and take care of that. This would be a big thing. Authority figures is huge, is a very big deal here. But you even have Saturn up here. So you being the authority yourself, but the Saturn can also slow down the recognition and the reward energy of that 10th house, okay? I know nobody ever wants to hear that, but it can also mean it can be rewarding as well. It can also bring, and when it brings rewards in the 10th house, that's the recognition, that's the moolah, right? That's the cha-ching, that's the bonuses, that's the raises. The only thing with the Virgo is to be really, really, you got to be super aware of its analyzing abilities. I mean, it can shred another person, an event, whatever, to bits and pieces in its brain and in the mind, because the Virgo can just see every little thing, every little flaw, every little piece, every little thread. So taking a deep breath, taking one step at a time. Remember, we're just looking for progress and improvement, not perfection. These are usually very helpful things for people with Virgo. And this is what they have told me, to look for progress, not perfection. Their words, not mine. And I mean, I'm talking people with like 20 objects in Virgo energy, huge stelliums. It says you shouldn't be too critical of other people's failures, but especially your own, okay? It's a lesson to stop judging yourself and others and to put compassion and wisdom first, all right? Which can be a spiritual activity in that way. So with all that said, this also means that you as well are going to have a full moon, an eclipse right here on your south node. That is coming up, okay? Yeah. Angela, I remember, hold on a second. Let me go double check, because you did send me, let me reread so that I have all my stuff right. There it is. Okay. Okay. All right. So with all that said, this eclipse energy happens in your home, and it's with bonded energy. And we want to see for you for sure. Okay, that trines your moon. Okay, so here's the deal. Where's your natal Pluto at? It's in, I knew it. I mean, like, I should have just known. I don't even know why I asked. Okay. So relationships, this is the thing here. Change and growth. It demands it. So this is romantic partnerships. Significant one-on-one relationships can be social circles and groups and friends, but the Pluto at the Libra energy at the romantic degree talks about something a little bit more private and personal, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. So with that energy, this planet demands growth and change. It demands that we evolve. And when that does not happen, well, this is over. That's the kind of thing it takes. It takes on that mentality of this is over. So this planet has support by this planet too. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. And even the Mercury supports that. Wow. Wow. A lot of fiery support. Let me see for the eclipse, the other one. Do you have something you do? Okay, so you have an eclipse also happening right on your Jupiter. This is your thoughts about the future, Leo energy, children, fun, joy, creativity, romance, and the future of it. This can be authority figure. This can be, if you're dating somebody, the Jupiter can be the man in your life. And there's an eclipse happening there. And this eclipse that's going to be occurring for that one is going to be the solar eclipse. So it's a new beginning. It sparks a new beginning. It's different. It's unconventional. It thinks outside the box. It's the beliefs about my future. Confidence comes in strongly. So communication is the key here. Communication is the key. It looks like there can be a very good possibility that instead of things being completely dismantled here, if communication occurs, there can be assistance, there can be help. And because it looks like a new beginning is starting. There's a lot of support for the beliefs connected to the future. Yeah, even down here, you have a nice big trine, big supportive trine. But it calls for a disruption. It calls for doing something that hasn't been done before, something different, like something that has to kind of, give us like a clean slate almost. And it might require help of a professional. And if that help isn't sought out, because the help is to hopefully get communication going. If the communication occurs, because this is really optimistic energy and a focus on the future. So if the communication occurs, then we're going to see momentum. We're going to see improvement and help. But if it doesn't occur, then chances are it'll take the other route of, well, this is over. Hold on a minute. Okay. Hold on 1 second. I got to make sure this isn't damn, it was my mom. Okay, it wasn't hospice. A sibling must be with her. I'll call her back. Okay, so I hope this makes sense, because you do have a lot of support going forward. Now, remember, the support can go either way. It can go, we're ending this, or it'll be clear cut. It won't be like this drawn out, it's hidden. We don't know what the hell's going on. No, because it just requires somebody to communicate and to speak and to say, this is how serious I think this is or isn't. And what are we doing? Because the future and the talks about the future are really strong natally for you. Remember, Jupiter's going through the Leo energy, which is where you have your Mercury and where you have your own Jupiter. And Jupiter is your great benefic, very optimistic, and it's in a very strong location. So with just a quick look at that looks positive if the communication is there. So I hope that helps. You're welcome to come back again. I'm here all the time. Okay. At least twice a week we do this. And sometimes, like this week, 3 times a week. When people let me know that they're going to be here, then I make, like today, I'm not normally here. Well, I already did a live. It's 90 degrees out right now. Holy shit. I didn't know that. All right. So now is Bruce here. Bruce sent a channel gift. Bruce, I got your chart already here. And then as soon as I'm done with Bruce, we'll go back to the chat. I think we got another. Actually, we got another. Okay, so we got. All right, so for somebody who sent me a Venmo, let me know in the chat who you were so that I can connect the name that I have here to the name in the chat. Does that make sense? because the name I have here is private, and I'm going to keep it private because, well, that's just the way I function. And we'll get to you after Bruce then. Okay. All right, let me get Bruce's chart. Bruce, did you want the did you want to, I know you gave me the email, which was great. It was detailed. It sorted everything through. Did you want to be on the screen or no? You don't have to. I'm not pressuring you. I'm just giving you that option because you sent money. That's all. And honestly, for folks who are contemplating, whether to be on here so you can have a rapport while I'm looking at your chart, it really doesn't work well if you don't have good internet. I'm just going to be honest. So if you already know that, then just be like, I'm just going to sit here and listen, or communicate like that, which is totally fine. So Bruce, I'm going to get your chart up here, and then I'm going to pull up the other chart behind it that you specifically mentioned so that we can take a look at this. Let me get this on the screen for you. And we're going to pull up. There you go. So there's your natal chart and there's your solar return chart, okay? Yeah, your chart's on the screen now, Bruce. You see that? You have a question mark. I was just asking if you wanted to. Are you comfortable just being in the chat? How about that? I'll ask the question that way. Okay. I just wanted to make sure. Sometimes people pay money and they want to actually be on the screen with me and they want to talk to me. Because I don't look back at the chat. Honestly, I just read the chart. All right, you're comfortable doing that. That sounds great. All right, so let me get back to, and thank you for the channel gift. Appreciate it very much. So your question is, your concern was about the Jupiter opposing Pluto, which it does over the next couple of weeks. Jupiter is a much quicker mover than Pluto. But it will be close to your moon. It's at that 8 degrees there, is what you're mentioning. You have an 8-degree moon there. So I understand what you're saying. Yeah. And when we think of the transits up in the sky, right, we know Jupiter is sitting right there. Yeah. So either way, you have Jupiter. With transits and the solar return, you have Jupiter in your 8th house. So that's a big deal right there. So Jupiter can bring us information about the future. It can be authority figures. It can be my beliefs. And so the 8th house mixed with Jupiter energy would be a combination, especially since the solar return it's in Cancer, which talks about the past, the present, and the future. It gives that intuitive connection. It's like builds a bridge from our intellect with our intuition combined, right? So it gives you some insight into the past, present, and the future. You asked about, especially about the full moon. Okay, that's at 6 degrees in Aquarius. You don't have anything there. You have an object at 3. You have an object at 9. At the opposition, you do have the moon. The orb is pretty small. I'd have to double check it. I did the video. You know what? I already have the chart. Let me look at that chart real quick. Here it is. Let me look at this chart. I did this video a while back. Let me look at the chart again. Yeah, the orb is small. Oh, but we will have Juno very close. So that amps the orb up a little bit. But they're both retrograding and they're both far away. Yeah. The Pluto energy, either way, the moon conjunct Pluto is a connection to the past, to the power in the groups, powerful groups. So for you, and that connection during that time, the big picture is the second house and the eighth house, the finances, the money, the values. I will say that the Jupiter energy in the eighth house is what the bigger, I think, longer lasting picture is, because this is an 8-degree moon. So I'm not totally concerned about it. It's really more, when does Jupiter touch my moon? You follow? As Jupiter moves along and gets there, which it will. Now, before I go and talk about that, you mentioned the connection to the 4 degrees again coming up, because the solar return moon is at 4. And so it's information and news, mom, home, family, feelings, can be siblings, okay? Can be information, whatever you're learning about. Domestic energy is here too, other than work, right? In this location. And so you were asking about that connection. This moon, it squares your natal Mars and Sun. And again, you're another person. I know this wasn't in your question, but the eclipse happens right here, right? There's an eclipse that's coming up, and we're already in the energy, just so we're clear. I'm telling everybody the same thing. You're feeling it already. It's 4 degrees and 54 minutes in Pisces. Okay. So this is, you have a Mars and you have a Sun there at those degrees. And look, yeah, you're going to have Mars at 25. So my physical body comes up in a lot of different ways. And the actions that I take connected to how I express and create. Now, I don't know if you do anything with sales, selling, teaching. I believe so. But creative stuff is huge. Now, you also mentioned something about the 8th house, and is it possible? Yeah. What are some other keywords for the 8th other than inheritances? The esoteric information and knowledge is what the 8th house is about. The past, the soul energy, the ancestry, the karmic energy even. All right. Because your moon is at 8. So when you're asking about your moon, it is a deeper connection to the esoteric stuff. When we go back to some of connecting deeper to the eternal truths. You follow? The eternal truths, the truths that never change, like the shit that's really true. So that's a lot of the mystical teachings. Okay. And so there may be some information about that, some aha, some revelations, some reveals about those things. But the inheritance stuff, there might be something here with that as well for you, because on this chart, there's a strong connection to Aquarius energy for you. And in the second house is where your Aquarius energy is. It's Mercury and your Saturn together. So this may bring about my thoughts and values towards what I'm building for my future. Retirement is probably part of this deal here. It's probably part of what you're mulling over and thinking about and talking about, because your Mercury's at 22. So this Mercury is really serious thinking and building for the future and the tangible financial security. Okay. So to me, because your Aquarius energy is your profected energy for this year. You follow? So it's your Aquarius and your Saturn. And where's your Saturn? In Aquarius at 26, the money degree. So this is really about money and finances. So again, whether it's your retirement or whether there is also something that happens to the 8th house, which could be taxes, inheritance. Some of that could get triggered. There can be insurance monies that come through different avenues. Who the hell knows? Somebody had a storm. Who the hell knows? Within the government, you have to file for retirement at, I don't know, some crazy time to get bored. Anyway, I don't know all the details. I haven't done that yet, but you follow what I'm saying? So there might be some of that energy that's activated here. Understanding the kind of answer, some kind of financial realization. Otherwise, could also have to do with the wounds of the past too, the deep vulnerabilities. And do you create expressing the wounds from the past and the deep vulnerabilities and the ancestral stuff, even Cancer energy, because the Jupiter in the solar return is through there. But even your 8-degree moon, other than esoteric, it's about the traumas from the past, maybe connected to mom and dad. You follow? Or my ability to be nurturing and mother-like, or, just, something from childhood, the ability to be playful, right? And creative. There's a deep wound connected to this. And so for somebody who is a creative, I think this would be worth exploring. But the 8th house ultimately talks about a healing, bringing about a healing. So with that said, I want you to know, I know it wasn't in your question, but on your 9th house cusp line, creativity, the Leo energy, me being the boss, me standing out, me being confident and bold in how I create and in the way that I express, you have an eclipse happening here. You follow? So you're already in this energy. This is at 20 degrees. Yours is at 19. So it's a connection for sure for you. And that connection, it brings about something new. So it's a new belief about your future and the way that you create. You follow? A new form of expressing. And because it's on the 9th house, there might be a bit of spirituality or some of the law coming through in the creative process. And when I say law, I'm not talking about the law of the land. I'm talking about the universal laws. I think earlier I worded them as the eternal truths. Same thing in my brain at this moment. It's just bringing in some deeper meaning, some depth to the art. And that would also be this 8-degree moon in the 8th house, right? Meaningful art, stuff that I look at and I am moved when I look at it. Like it stirs something inside of me. Like that's the deep stuff. So if you're doing that, great. If you're not, these are a lot of different ways this can come about for you. Okay. Let me go back and double check and see. Saggy, yes. Yeah, the 8th house and the 2nd house definitely triggered. Uranus at 20, yes. We'll have moved to, right. So if Uranus and the moon connect, which is what you're saying here, Uranus will have moved to a conjunction with that moon in Gemini, teaching something different at work, right? And if we're teachers, literally, like every semester, we get a new set of students, things switch up, things change, but who knows? Uranus is boss energy, maybe a new boss. Maybe you're learning, maybe there's some technology that you're working with. Maybe there's some disruptions, right? Whether it's in the schedule, day-to-day routines. Just think Uranian energy. Different, new, and unconventional. Do you think this is an aspect to take in consideration? Jupiter and Leo, Pluto and Aquarius. Yeah, that's all what's coming. I would say, yeah, you're connecting the dots, and it makes sense. It all makes sense because of the way that your charts are lining up and the numbers and the eclipses. Yeah, there's certainly change coming. And you also do see on this chart, I don't know, maybe you already saw it, maybe you didn't, to see the transiting nodes in this chart, right? On your Uranus, right? You see that? Yeah. Yeah. So that, again, brings disruption and a release and a let go, likely to an authority figure, but maybe connected to something, because it's the 9th house, publishing, something different, new, and exciting, but routines. Health can be a part of it too, by the way. There can be disruptions in that. And it might be just, it could, sometimes it's smaller than we think. The main thing, I think, is to pay attention to the perfected location. And it's connected to your Aquarius and your Saturn specifically. So that lights up your 2nd and your 8th house, because that's where that would be, the big conjunctions. But it also folds in your natal Uranus, because that is what is part of this Aquarius energy as well. So boss energy comes up both ways. Okay. Does this make sense for you, Bruce? Yeah, you could always send an email for whoever's asking about personal readings. Yeah. You can just email me to set something up like that. Okay, Bruce, are you still there? Does that make sense? Did I answer your question, is what I'm asking you? You are looking at it correctly. The only thing I recommend, and what I did, was I just gave you more options of different ways it can play out, because it's all of the things that I mentioned, all of them can be how it plays out. It doesn't have to be just one of those things out of everything that we discussed. All of those things can be a thing. Does that make sense for you? Okay, great. Okay. All right. Okay. You are welcome. Thank you. Yes. And thank you for sending an email in advance, Bruce. That made it much easier to have you ready to go. Again, thank you for the channel gift. Thank you so much. Okay. So for the person, there was another channel gift sent. You know who you are. I don't want to give out your personal name. So the next one in line, yeah, because you didn't attach like a birth digits or anything, or a YouTube handle. You just, yeah. And whoever you are, you would know. I want to take care of, yeah. So whoever that was, can you send me an email and communicate to me and let me know that that's you and what your name is in the chat? I'm assuming you're in the chat, unless somebody was just being kind to support the channel and just sending a channel gift, which could be the thing. Oh, thank you so much, Bruce. Okay, good. Hey, Steffi G, I see you. All right. So I'm going to go back to where I was before, since I'm not getting any responses as to, I don't know who to thank for the channel gift. They, yeah. Oh, I got Taffy making some noises out there. You think Taffy wants to come in the room? She definitely does. All righty, so let's move on. And we're going to go to the next name in the chat that has their digits. And it looks like this person is next. Manshi. December 28th, 2000 at 3:23 a.m. Is this person here? Going once, going twice. Yeah, if you can get all the digits on the same line, all your info, that helps. When I call your name, if you don't tell me that you're here, I just go to the next name and you kind of just go right to the back of the line. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, maybe everybody left. All right. I'm trying to make sense out of this. This makes 100% sense. Thanks so much for reading. Oh, you are welcome, Top Manifesting Queen. Thank you for letting me know. Good, good, good. I hope it helps. I'm sure I said that already. Okay, so all righty. Oh, Melissa, thank you so much. Oh, Melissa, so where's your birth digits then? You're the one. That was me. Okay. So, Melissa said that was me. All right, she did answer. So you came in under a different name? I'm still just looking for your digits, Melissa. Or were you just sending a gift? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because okay, thank you. That'll help me. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm like losing my damn mind here. I know it's my own fault. I don't know of a smoother way to do this. If I could figure out a smoother way, I would. In the meantime, let's get your chart going here. October 6th, Melissa. And thank you for the Venmo, Melissa. Thank you very much. Okay. And we're going to go to October 6th. 1979. And you're in the United States, Missouri. 9:55 p.m. And COEUR. Never heard of that. COEUR. Core, Missouri. Have you seen your chart before? Let me get it up here on the screen. All right, so this is showing Gemini rising, 16 degrees. And we have a moon, a Taurus moon at 2 degrees. Okay. Taurus moon at 2. Ooh, nice trine to your Jupiter. Wow. That's got to be nice. Oh, another, look at this. Look at this. Nodes at 8 in Pisces and Virgo. What do you know about that? Ooh, your North Node is conjunct Karma. 8 degrees. You got Karma written all over that thing. Holy moly. So is this chart yours? Have you seen your chart before? I guess is what I should say. Yes, I do personal readings. The email's on the screen. For people who are serious, you can send me an email and we communicate that way. Okay, so Melissa, I don't know if you've seen your chart before, but with a Taurus moon, desires, creature comforts, food, money, finances. Yours are going to be unconventional and slightly different, but boy, are they going to be important to you. Friends are going to be important. Group energy. But the thing about the friends in the 11th house energy is things switch up. They change. It's the house of disruptions. And fixed energy does not like that at all. So there can be some pain associated with this in this location. Friends can be a source of can be a source of positive things and a source of negative things, maybe. The 11th house can be quite detached as well. Taurus energy does not like that. This is kind of tricky. However, you have this nice trine to the Jupiter energy. So that brings optimism and support, but it can have an overemphasis on perfection. So this would be This can be tricky. Oh, this is tricky. Home and family and mom energy is big here, as is your moon, that connection. And so maybe mom was like this. So there might even seem as though she runs hot and cold at times. You may find yourself that happens. But because your sun is in Libra here, 13 degrees, this is the diplomat, somebody who wants harmony, who can communicate. And it's about equality and fairness. So that's a beautiful thing. And it's located in fiery, optimistic Leo energy location. So that can be fun. That can be fun energy. Now, this is your great benefic Venus. This is your love language. Equality, fairness. She might be a little controlling, though. So you have to be careful with this energy, as would be the people that you come into contact with in terms of romantic partnerships. People, maybe some of the control factor, but your 24 degrees says it might take it up a notch on a spiritual level. There might be a sense of surrender. So this could actually be a huge benefit to have here. It is also a huge benefit in that, being your greater benefic, it connects with Jupiter and Neptune. So this can mean that you have support, angelic realm support, spirituality. This can be a support system within personal and professional relationships, because this is your great benefic. You might even feel lucky. And you even have Neptune in your 7th house of partnerships. Tricky energy. When I see Saggy on the descendant, very tricky energy. Very tricky. It's just hard. I have yet to find a person with that, where they're like, yeah, I'm in a committed relationship and it's great, and we've been together for a really long time. I don't really hear that ever. I just don't. And then on top of it, having Neptune there, because that throws on the rose-colored glasses. We don't really see those people realistically. That's just the way that it is. And it can be beautiful. The problem is we put them up on a pedestal, right? But on another level, this can be professional partnerships. This can be connected to government energy and institutional support in that way. Just saying, that's a possibility, especially since yours is at the health degree. And this is fascinating. Neptune and Saggy normally has to do with eyes. And at 18 degrees, that's the health. So this is partnership energy, but perceptions. If it's not the literal eyeballs, it's how I perceive things and people, and the judgments that I may have or have not against them, or against myself even, right? Judgment is hard within partnerships, personal and professional. So with that said, you have assertive Mars in your 3rd house. Mars comes out as a very colorful and active, very physical energy. Let me see if it is a square. That's what I had a feeling. Yeah, it's a T-square, a big T-square to your Scorpio and Taurus energy, which could be to your health. Now, here's the good thing. Mars is not your great malefic. So you are very fortunate in this way. However, this is, like I said, colorful communication, bold communicator, speaker, talker, maybe even vocals, yeller, screamer. Like, it makes me think of, it's performative energy, Michael Jackson, dancer, but very performative, like his body was the music. Like you could visually see music by looking at his body, right? Mars and Leo. At 7 degrees, this is relationship energy. 7 degrees, relationship energy. Authority figure, being first, taking charge. This can be the boss, can be, if you have a romantic partnership, that person might be a little on the bossy side, or you may be the bossy one. That's a possibility. Somebody's got to be the bossy one. Let me let Taffy in the room real quick. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm coming, Mama. Hold on. When you want to come in, I hear you out there squealing. Come on. You waited so long. You were patient. Huh? Say, I've been patiently waiting. Okay. Well, come on in. You gonna come up and say hello? Come on. Okay, I had to let the cat in the room. If you're coming, come on. There you go. Okay, well, come on. I got to get to the microphone. I got to talk. Okay. All right. So, where was my brain taking me on what trail? The Mars energy. And so, the great malefic in your chart is Saturn, authority figures. So this is delays and slowdowns with health, possibly restrictions within health. It's even at the freaking 20 degree. So this talks about emotions, deep wounds from the past with authority figures. Can be dad energy, by the way, because it is in domestic Virgo energy. But it would also be, at the job and the projects and the tasks. So your work would be health related, likely. Even if it's, my health is work type of thing. You follow? Because it's in the 4th house. So, yeah, I hope that makes sense for you. I hope that sounded like you. And you sent money. So was there something you wanted me to focus on before I go any further, or because you sent the channel gift, and so I would like to make sure that if there was 1 or 2 words, something you wanted me to focus on. I got to get water. Are you there, Melissa? Did my question make sense? What the hell's an eye coder? Oh, I put it in the chat. I'm an eye coder. You guys see this? Am I reading that right? Is it a typo? Yeah, maybe it's a typo. I don't know what the hell that is. And if I don't, I probably need to if it's a real thing. I don't know what that means, though. I'm a manager of a group of people. Okay. That's what that means? Oh, that's what they call a group of people. Okay. So you were a manager. Oh, well, you definitely got boss energy all around you, right? But it should be something that is deeply meaningful. That's the other thing. Work that's service, but deeply meaningful. Your partner is literal eye doctor. Okay, there you go. Okay, well, that's great. So, yeah, well, that 7th house is right there. It says it right there. It's by the degree, and the Neptune, and it's the people who've come for readings where they would have Neptune and Saggy. And yeah, they'll be the first to tell you. They usually have some sort of eye thing going on. All right. Yeah, you have a 0 degree Mercury, and it's in Scorpio. So the really psychic energy, the energy of this is Scorpio energy penetrates. It's just an energetic penetration, like literally. And it can be, again, it's the super detective of the Zodiac. It's the researcher, the super researcher. It digs, it excavates, it drills. So you have this in the placement of work. But health comes up on that 6th house cusp line for you. So this can be healing. So I don't know about your partner exactly in this chart, but okay, thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just here. It's really wild. The 6 degrees. So maybe you found or met your partner through the work. But health is here by the degrees, okay? And you even have it on your second house cusp line of how you make money, your income. It's 8 degrees in Cancer. I work with the public possibly, but 8 degrees can be healing energy. It's more Scorpio energy. And you have a beautiful trine in your chart. 8 degrees there, 8 degrees by that south node in Pisces. And yeah, you got a vertex point here. So speaking of the south node in Pisces, you're another person who is going to have, let me save this chart, who's going to have an eclipse coming up, and it's going to happen on that south node. Okay. The eclipse is at 4 though. So this is kind of wonky. You know, normally it's only a 2-degree orb. So 6, like 4, 5, 6, but you have something at 8. So chances are, you know, maybe there's a little something that you're releasing in terms of, well, this could be career, but it could also be any professional partnerships, anything you're committed to, anything and anyone that you have been committed to for a long period of time is the 10th house energy. Okay. So there just might be something where it's just completed its cycle. That's all. But perceptions and beliefs, maybe it's spiritual, maybe it's religious, maybe it's creative. Maybe it is a boss figure. Maybe I'm getting rid of a boss at a job. Maybe I already did, because the eclipse is not at 8, it's at 4. You follow? But it signifies a release, a ending, and a let go to bring on something new. Usually it's the making room for the new thing. That's how that works. So, yeah. 4 degrees, 4 degrees. Okay. Yeah. So as far as moving into the future, and you have Jupiter going through your 3rd house of learning right now. You see that? Yeah. 3rd house is learning, creativity, learning and curiosity. Jupiter would bring the creativity to it. So you might take up something creative because Jupiter will spark your Mars. You're in that cycle right now. And it's going to be there. For you, it's going to last all the way until the end of July. Where from now until the end of July, Jupiter is starting to strongly connect with your Mars energy. And when that happens, actually to the very beginning of August, actually. Mars is how we take actions. So creative actions, creative activity, performative energy, then Jupiter goes large. I would put a caution during this timeline, especially the last 2 weeks of July. 6, 7, yeah, like the last 2 weeks of July, I put a caution because it brings on this unbelievable confidence. It's a daredevil energy, you know, daredevil, like doing shit I wouldn't normally do. So be careful, okay? It's the overcaution, or it's the overconfidence. It's the, I can take on any risk right now. Like you want to just be cautious around that energy. It can be great to get a lot of shit done though. A lot of drive, a lot of energy. Okay. Especially towards learning, especially if you're going to school or you're teaching. But use it in a physical way to get it all out. Otherwise it can be, you know. I work in healthcare. There we go. Health issue going on. Anything you see coming from that. Yeah, actually, the health was what is really prominent in your chart because you've got multiple objects. Like I said, the Saturn. This is your great benefic. And because it's at the 20 degrees, some people say, now I don't know for a fact, I don't do medical astrology, but I dabble. I did it for myself. So I have people know, but that's all I can say about that. The teaching is anything associated with Scorpio energy has to do with the blood. You follow? Virgo asks us to get back to the basics. That's what Virgo. And the South Node because your Jupiter was at 1 degrees. If we put the transits on, you see the South Node? It was on your Jupiter. I know this is confusing. It's passing off of your Jupiter. So it's going to clear Jupiter, which is important because you might notice a change in your well-being. You might notice that whatever it was it digestive issues? Because, oh wait, let me see, where is this at in your chart? The 1 degree is in the 4th house of emotions. It's Cancer energy. So there might have been definitely been a flare up with the Jupiter. Saturn can even create like hard things in the body. I know that much. Whether it's bones, bone spurs, knees, but Virgo's mostly digestion and gut type in the area of the body. So colon energy, the inner stuff that we don't see necessarily. Where the Scorpio energy, the 20 degrees, because your Saturn's at 20, is more about, okay, the things where things are literally releasing out of the body, like those body parts. I don't have all the technical terms, but anyway. So the relief, you might see some relief once you get to like mid-August, because the nodes are pulling away. But I'm going to be honest with you, the nodes spend a lot of time at 29 degrees. They don't move real fast. Normally nodes, a couple of weeks and they've moved, right? But here the nodes just got to 28 degrees and it's freaking October. So they spend a lot of time at 29. It's October 7th and they're still at 29 degrees. And to me, 29 is still pretty close to your 1 degree Jupiter. So just remember that the Virgo stuff was also that 6th house energy in your chart, which is where all your Scorpio energy is at. And the shocks and the surprise with Uranus. Let me see if I saw something. I thought it might have been another person's chart. Okay, that was it right there, the health degree there. Okay. Yeah, it's the Mercury at 0. That also is the digestion stuff too. But that's not all. Mercury is also like the communication system in the body, like the neurological system and all that, all that stuff. So the Virgo and having the node on your Jupiter is begging you to like look at holistic modalities if you already don't. Some of the common sense basics. So I hope all this makes sense for you. And I hope it helps. And you're always free to come on back. I'm here. And you have my email, so you could always send an email if you have additional questions. But yeah, a chart like yours would probably might do some good to get like a soul session reading, because you have a lot of that kind of energy in your chart. All righty. My partner is a literal eye doctor. I read that one. Yes, I work in healthcare. I have a health issue. Got it. Okay, we did meet through work, actually. Noted. Okay, very good. All right. I'm glad that I got to you. That is so great. All right, let me see if we got time for one more here. What time did I start today? I started at 3. Okay. Yeah. Maybe more than one more. We'll see. Let me see what we got going on here. I got Taffy next to me. All right. So did I ever get to the South Dakota one? That's way up there. Libra reading for this month. Okay, I got that one. Is this some kind of astrology chart? Okay, we're moving on. Jazzy, got Jazzy. Top manifesting queen. Green leaf star. Soup. Soup sun. Storm Hub was taken. Storm Hub, are you still here? All right, just did Melissa. Oh, that's why I didn't know who the hell Melissa was. Her chat was way the hell up there, and I didn't see it. How do I know what number I am? I see there's. Well, Soup Son, if you're still here, which you're probably not, but if you are, it's your turn. I mean, when people send money, yeah, I kind of gotta work them in. I sent mine, but I can't. Yeah, that person, I don't know. I think they're more confused than me. All right, let's do a roll call. This might make this simpler. Who's here? Oh, Soupso's here. Look at that. You are welcome, Melissa. Okay, Soupson, can you give me all your stuff on the same line? Birth time, birth date, birth city, birth state. I see this. I need locations and I need a birth time. Did you put it in up above? Yeah, you can put it in multiple times. It actually makes it easier for me to find it. I see some other folks here from India. Poor top manifesting queen. I see all her comments. Yes, it's okay. Okay. So you did it. Good job. Very good. You waited and look, it paid off. See that? Yeah. I mean, I get it. People don't want to wait. I totally get it. But shit, you're waiting for you. You're not waiting for me. It's a reading for you. If you're not worth waiting for, well, then, I feel like, well, it's okay. And we got a birth time of, so we're looking May 10th, 1984. Is that correct? Just want to double check. 5:35 a.m. Bangkok. Let me scoot over there. Oh, it's backwards. Okay. Whenever I see people who are born in a different country, I just flip it because you know how. Oh, where did it go? I see October. I got it. Oh no, where did it go? What the hell? Oh my God, where did it go? I just had all that information and it just. Oh, that's bogus. It just. Oh man, this software just really gets under my skin sometimes. Okay, so we have October 5th, 1984. 5:35 a.m. And we'll do this one more time. Bangkok. Okay, Thailand. Have you seen your chart before? All right, this is what it's showing me. So October 5th, 1984. Okay. 5:35 a.m. Okay. So this is showing you have an Aquarius moon at 16 degrees. Group energy, unconventional forms of creativity, unconventional children, unconventional creations. This also goes for romantic partnerships. Different and unusual. Sun at 11 degrees, trines your moon. And this says you have a 3 degrees Libra rising. Does this sound like you so far? Have you seen your chart? If not, we'll kind of... A lot of October babies here. So you've never seen your chart. Okay, well, then that means I have to work just on that as a step one. So yeah, your fifth house can be very detached energy. Like your friends can be creative, very unique. People who might even seem kind of brilliant in a way, very fast minds. A bit on the rebellious side even, right? So for romance, this would apply if, what are we drawn to romantically as a good time, exciting and fun? Yeah, this might be a partner who, for somebody who, yeah, typically they would, back in the day, it would be, the woman that goes for the guy that rides the motorcycle. That was considered like, that's the outcast. That's the rebel. That's the rebel without a cause energy. But your moon is attached to that. So mom energy, home and family, my emotions, and being detached from those things. Because Aquarius has lots of fun, but it's based on intellect and science and astrology. Astrology can be fun, right? So a lot of people who have this with the Gemini in the ninth, a lot of these people are teachers, educators in some way. Mars is at 29. Wow. 29 in Saggy. Oh, wow. Okay. Conjunct your Neptune. That's a tricky combination. Well, this can be spiritual activity, but seeking and searching truth and wisdom and freedom. That's the other thing. Oh my God. When we talk about independence and freedom, this Aquarius energy, what? This cat, I just let her in and she's like at the door meowing for me to let her out. 2 degrees. Yeah, I have a desire to break free, to break away, to be independent. And that's what makes that romantic stuff tricky, but also in connection to children. Some people who have this are like, I knew I never wanted children. But you have your moon here. This can be tricky. Hey, I just let you in. You just wanted in. Come on. Come and get your massage. She thinks somebody has food outside. So you have a Libra sun. Your Libra sun is all about relationships, of course. But even that says unconventional by degree. Different. You follow? Can also be on the authority. Just like the Aquarius down in your fifth house of fun. I am the authority of this. I take charge of the fun. I take charge of the group. This can be small children, like people much younger than me, or it can also be people much older than me. Like I get along with them, like seniors, like my elders. Because relationships are going to be important, but they're going to be different and unique. You've got the 11-degree thing. So this would be like interdependent relationship energy, which I personally think is really healthy energy. Where people can be in a relationship, but they don't lose themselves in the other person. They have their own life and their own identity and their own everything. And then so does their partner. It's healthy. However, even your Venus is this way. Actually, this is a blessing to have a Venus at this degree in this sign, but she can be wicked. I'm just letting you know. She can be ruthless at 11 degrees in Scorpio here. It's not a normal Venus. Normal Venus is about harmony and peace. And yes, she does desire bonded energy, deeply bonded energy. But she can kind of be ruthless. So 11 degrees makes Venus your great benefic in your chart. She brings you your gifts, shared values, insurance money. Yeah. Healing. And there might be an over-identification with wounds and vulnerabilities from the past and trauma. You have Pluto here as well. Pluto's going to give you a lot of power, a lot of soul power. But at 1 degree, it also talks about abuses of power. Do I betray myself? Have I been betrayed? My own physical body. Saturn is here. So limitations, possibly slowdowns within having completely bonded relationships, or where we've bonded really tightly. It can go on and on here. Even your frickin' Saggies at an authority figure degree for learning, seeking unconventional wisdom and knowledge, teaching. This can be traveling, airlines for sure, technology when we see Aquarius. But all these numbers I was talking about, as far as being independent, this is also technology. These numbers 11, 11, and all this Aquarius energy down here. Something really just clicks for you with technology, even social media at number 3 on the mid and the 9th house cusp line. But you have a wound here too. Possibly a wound from childhood, but even it goes back even further. It's even deeper than that at the 8th degree. It's about learning and communication and talking and writing when we're a child. Some wound with classmates, siblings. That's just the way it is. Shit happens. And of course, Saggy energy in that 3rd house says talking and speaking my truth and feeling as though I know the truth, because this energy can get information ahead of time, especially with Uranus here. We can get downloads, we can have visuals, we can have knowings, understandings, and feel as though, well, I'm the sage, damn it. And I know the truth, so I have to share the truth, right? And that's the lesson of the Saggy, learning that the truth is your truth. It might not be the truth, so it can be tricky. All right, Soup Son, I hope that makes sense for you. Oh, this person is still here and they're like, I'm going to sleep. Yeah, you know, a lot of people tell me my voice puts them to sleep. Finland's in the house. Alluring, March 22nd. Thank you if you get to me. Well, that's nice. Thank you for being nice. And people are just cordial, like respectful, you know? Like those things go a long way. So February 10th, you've been here for a while. It's probably your turn. You think? Are you still here? Storm Hub, are you still here? I'm taking roll call. You're welcome. Soup's on. I'm just going to call you Soup's on. Soup's on. That means dinner's ready. Soup's on. Still holding in here. Okay, Storm Hub, let's get your chart up here. You've been here for a minute. And thank you to everybody who sent gifts to the channel. Cash App, Venmo, even PayPal. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I purposely do not allow ads to appear during these live streams. It is to make it flow a little bit better, to make it a more pleasurable experience for the viewer. And just can't be having that shit during readings. It's enough with the cat at the door, you know. So any way that you can help the channel, support the channel, show appreciation to the channel, whatever way, I much appreciate it. Thank you so very much. Storm Hub, let's get you in here. All right, we got February 10th, 1991. Ooh, we got a youngster in the house. Can't really say that anymore, huh? I mean, the years are going by so damn fast. I can think of a couple of people who were born around that day. Not the exact day. Actually, one of them might have been on that day. The other one was February 14th. 8:10 p.m.-ish. So you do know that it was around that time, though? You're pretty confident about the... Aberdeen, South Dakota. All righty. Have you seen your chart before? All righty. It says, oh, I should put it on the screen first. All righty. This is a Virgo rising. Shocker. I mean, really, it's so funny. All the Virgo risings and the... So here is your Virgo energy, 18 degrees, Virgo rising. And we're getting a Capricorn moon at 10 in the 4th house. Ooh, with Uranus right next to it. Okay, thank God for the Neptune, huh? Yeah, I think so. And thank God the Uranus is at 12. So these would probably be pretty accurate. The moon might be off a little. You know, when it comes to the birth time and the accuracy. Well, thank you, Elena, for waiting. And I wish I saw your birth digits earlier. I would have had you in sooner, but if you guys come back and get your stuff, all your digits all on one line, that's, yeah, that makes it go really smoothly. Okay, so Storm Hub, another Gemini up here, Gemini at the midheaven. So here's the thing, with this moon and this Uranus energy together like this can be really tricky. Authority figures, cold, detached, distant emotions. Dad energy and mom energy, boss energy, authority figure. You follow? In the home. Really rigid energy in the home. Material, physical, structured. A home like this would be supportive in really practical ways. Like you can see it and hold it and feel it, but definitely not so much through emotional support at all. They would probably be emotionally absent. You know what I'm saying? Now, with that said, you do have the Saggy on the 4th house cusp line. And it's at a communication degree. So that can make this really interesting. as far as talking about my emotions and feelings, but it can also blow them up and blow them out of proportion. So this might come across as hot and cold energy sometimes. Why certain things just, they really get you going. Where other things you might be able to remain quite detached. And even this is even people who have to kind of mature really fast, right? Because home was cold, strict, detached, distant. I had to be responsible at an early age. You follow? Duties and responsibilities. It's hard energy. And so mom might have been like this. Mom might have had to play the role of mom and dad even. But then this could be some group energy involved here too. So material, physical structures and providing nurturing and support with the tangible as opposed to empathy and understanding and compassion that would be absent. Does this sound like you? Or the childhood that you grew up in? Or does it sound like your mother? Again, when we have Capricorn down there, that could be that dad had to play mom. It can go both ways. Mom had to play the role of both, or dad had to play mom, or maybe you had both parents in the home. And this looks like it would be a bit strong because they'd both be playing the I wear the pants in the family role. So that could be tricky. So here on this chart, the Leo energy, yeah, okay. I kept hearing, look at the Leo, and there it is. So you're having an eclipse. Wait, let me go back to the chat real quick. Let me just double check. I don't want to read on a chart if it doesn't sound like you. Hey, Steffi G. I see you with the yellow hearts. Thank you. Okay, so dad has always been pretty detached and emotionally absent. Okay, physically absent. Okay. All right, good. I just realized I didn't even bother to see if you're saying if this sounds like you, because you said the birth time was a little ish, and I wasn't sure what that meant. So with that said, you have, your sun is in Aquarius, but there's an eclipse coming, right? So the 12th house energy for you gets activated. It's a new beginning. New beginning. This can create some new karmic / even cosmic kind of stories, but authority figure energy, creativity, big time, drama even. The wonderful thing for you is the degree that it's at. It's not at, it's at 22, your 12th house. So I like this in that it can take the Leo energy, and it's not too much like a ringmaster. It's not too much like, it's all fun and games and it's playing with people's lives just to have a good time, or playing politics, like political theater. This would be more of somebody who's a little bit more serious, the 22 degrees. So this can be new boss energy. Maybe I'm a new boss of my dreams and my creations, the dreams about my future, my creative future either. But this can also be romantic energy. This can also be children. My creations, a new beginning with my creations. Now, realistically, you're already in this cycle, especially since your sun is at the opposition at 21. So this will be an eclipse that happens here at 22. Your sun is at 21. That activates more exciting and new energy, something unconventional and different, something that is new. And if it's friends, great, but it could be streaming. It's technology that gets involved here. Whether you work in the tech field or science in some way, space, astrology, but group energy again, and friends and social circles. This can also be like that supply chain stuff, like the big systems and airlines and anything where we're moving big things. Aquarius is the inventor and like major appliances and shit, and you work. This says boss energy in that field. So for whatever you do, your sun is right there next to that boss energy. You have it in two ways within that category. Let me go see where your Saturn is. That'll fill in some of the blanks. Your freaking Saturn's at 0 in Aquarius. Well, Saturn's known as the teacher, but it's the boss. It's the boss of the group. Structured. I lay down the law. This can be manager energy. Let me go see. Oh, Uranus. Do you work for institutional energy? Whether it's for government or, and I'm not really asking you to tell me. I mean, I don't mean to pry. I'm just saying. I'm just curious because the Uranus energy shows up at an institutional degree. It's in Capricorn, which suggests corporations, but they're probably on a large level. Could have to do with drugs and medicine and substances or hospitals in some way, because you kind of have that strong here in your chart, especially with Aquarius over here. And you have Pisces on the descendant. You follow? And your great benefic is Venus, how I make my money, how I receive. And she's at the public degree. And it's Pisces. So, I don't know. Could be psychology. Any healing institution. But yeah, that's the only eclipse that happens for you for this 2026. Okay. But yeah, the Aquarius energy and the Pisces, that's a mixture of those Einstein minds kind of energy. Because your Mercury is an Aquarius, right? And these are our rocket scientists and shit like that, you know? Those are our creative science. Yeah, you got that working for you. If you're not doing astrology with that energy in the 5th house, right? But you got Saturn there, you got Mercury there at the 8 degree mark too. Ooh. Maybe it is tech and rare earth minerals type of shit. I don't know, man. There can be some stuff here, though. Because you got Jupiter there. Uranus at 12. Saturn at 0. Wow. All right. We are moving. Oops, I'm sorry. I just did it backwards. We are moving on. I think I'm going to do one more. I don't know who else is here, though. Maybe I shouldn't do one more. Is there anybody else here? Hello, hello. I thought about getting into Reiki healing, though. Yeah, that's, you know, Pisces and the Scorpio energy. You have Scorpio. So I want to learn about that. You have Scorpio with Pluto in it in your 3rd house at 20 degrees. Healing. Yeah, you have it at the healing degree too. Yep. Your Chiron is in Cancer at 22. God, you have boss energy all over your damn chart, man. You have Pallas Athena at 22 and Virgo, alternative healing modalities. And getting back to the basics, to the common sense kind of stuff, diet and hygiene, just really simple shit. So I got people saying hello. Is there anybody in the chat? I got time for one more chart. I see 999. I see a chart up there for you. I mean, I see your digits, I should say. Hello, Posh Posh. Oh, Storm Chaser. I see that. I do tarot readings. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Let me see where's the chaos at in your chart? Chaos is at 15 degrees in Taurus in the 9th house. 15 degrees. Oh, shit. Shit. Okay. That's so funny. chaos is in the 9th house for you. So traveling, it's at 15 degrees in Taurus. I just find this fascinating now that you've shared that piece. I didn't show this before. I'm just going to do this really quickly. There's chaos. Well, if storm chases, these people must love chaos, right? And excitement, right? That Aquarius energy. But look at 15 degrees, news and information and data, writing, 15 degrees, speaking. It's a trine to Neptune in Capricorn at 15 degrees as well. And then, of course, here's Pallas Athena, and there's your ascendant. There's a nice, strong Earth trine. And then, of course, Uranus. It's all connected. It's a big, big stellium with this Capricorn. Interesting. That's so weird because, well, I mean, it isn't weird. It makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It's a combination. Huh. And the 12 degrees is things are definitely confusing. Switching, changing. But Aquarius is definitely unpredictable. That is for damn sure. And this Pandora's box, an exact square to that 9th house cusp line, the beliefs about my values in the future. Huh. Fascinating. And Gemini at the midheaven, of course, at 15 degrees. Yeah. News and information for sure. Social media. All right. So did I say 999 was next? Yeah. All right, 999. Let's get you in here. And then, yeah, I don't believe I've ever read for you before. I didn't think we were supposed to hit 90 degrees today. I hit 90. Huh. It's pretty comfortable for 90 degrees, actually. Very low humidity. When it's that low, you don't even know it's that warm. I'll take it. I prefer it. Other than that, hot is all sticky hell stuff. Okay, 1434. All right, 2:34 p.m. Turku, Finland. Ooh, don't think I've ever, it's not spelled right. T-U-R. Don't think I've ever done a chart for Turku, or however you say that. There we go. Have you seen your chart before? Let's get it on the screen. Here she comes. This is a Leo on the ascendant. Holy shit. Okay. What just jumped straight out at me? All righty. That second house cusp line jumped like woof. And the moon. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. You were born on a full moon. And you have 2 eclipses coming up that are going to impact your chart exactly. Wow. This has been a big day for this. There was only one chart where the eclipses were involved, where they were off by 1 degree. Everybody else had like the exact degrees. Like, whoa. I would say that's kind of, you're in it. You are in it. All right. So this is giving you a moon at 4 degrees in Virgo. And the 8-degree Leo rising. And can you confirm those things? I haven't seen my chart before. Okay. Not a problem. Well, let's see what I can do here. Let's see if we can make sense out of this for you. So with the Virgos at the 4, you're going to be, it's going to be important for things in the house and part of your daily routines, like job and projects and tasks, like basic needs. Basic needs are going to be things like keeping things structured and orderly. One of the phrases for Virgo is there's a place for everything and a thing for every place. Virgo's big with like small hand tools and stuff. They're big with crafting, but they're also like orderly, clean, hygiene, usually smart, very focused on the details, the threads. Literally. They strive for perfection, and that is usually their greatest gift, but also their greatest weakness, right? It's one of those things because they hyper focus on it. So Virgos like to have schedules and write things down, journaling energy, right? Calendars. Holy shit, yeah. Schedules, diaries, calendars, because it helps to put order in one's life. And so because your moon is there, this makes you feel, it adds some sort of emotional stability to you, makes you feel more safe, more secure within the home, and definitely within parts of your childhood. You know, you ever wonder, some kids grow up, or I shouldn't say grow up, but they're young, still living at home. Some, especially, you know, some play with dolls, some play with Barbies. I had a little one where she didn't, well, she played with Barbies a little bit, but she really loved the mannequin heads. They had like a full head of hair, and she would just sit there and do her hair, do it in all sorts of ways. I mean, like crazy. But then the other one wanted nothing to do with any of that shit. She was more very physical. She never was into writing or journaling or playing with Barbies or any of that crap. Matter of fact, she was more of creative, very actively doing things. And so these are the differences in things that we do as a child to, or even as an adult, right, to make ourselves feel secure and safe. And so the Virgo energy is really mundane. It's kind of really like, oh, it might even seem average, right? Not real flashy, but you would value these things. And because your moon is in the second house, this might be somebody who's into the gardening and landscaping, housekeeping, it's service, one-on-one personal service, which could mean, I always think Virgos would be like exceptional personal assistants. I mean, I had lived with 2 Virgos. One of them's a double Virgo, and they excel at the details and understanding really well what somebody's preferences are. And they, they really focus on that. And they're all about schedules and calendar. I mean, holy shit, all of this Virgo stuff. And for people who want or need personal assistance, they're really freaking good at that stuff. And communicating. It's not just about keeping track of it, but being able to communicate about it. Like that's huge. It's a strong Mercury energy. So with all that said, I have to go find your Mercury, and lo and behold, it's in confusing Pisces. That takes a little bit away from what I just said. I mean, it makes it all true, but the accuracy on things might get a little wonky because Mercury in water doesn't do real good. It gets some of the details. The details are fuzzy. This Mercury is better in creating, even though it's at a boss degree, organized degree, organizing creatively. Yeah, it is. Publishing. This would be the publisher. This would be very spiritual energy too. Whether it's traditional religions, sacred texts, the law, but like the eternal law, the natural law, the cosmic law, like the first law, other first laws, the real laws, those sort of things. This would be a learner and a teacher, higher education, extended education, You even have Venus right next to that. And your sun is also in Pisces. So this takes me to the eclipse that's going to be happening. Eclipse on your sun and eclipse on your second house cusp line. You're having both of the eclipses. But before I go any further, did anything I just said sound like you? Because you said you've never seen your chart before. Where the hell is the person that I'm doing? This is 999. Does this sound like you? That's why I was saying everything I was saying. I had to first confirm that this is your chart. Oh, organized. Yeah, I have 2 calendars. And the pencils have to be the same way. And the pencil, yes. They are the people who organize what's already been organized. They come in and they reorganize it. They have a better way, a better system. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, let me get that off so we can see something. So that sounds like you. Very good. And what about your Mars energy? It's even conjunct your Juno, which is taking action in relationships, partnerships. These, again, the spiritual stuff comes up. And if it's not in this, if you're not doing it in a spiritual way, because this is in the house of being creative, but again, more teaching energy is here, is present here, and children. This might be homeschooling. This can be, like I said before, extended education, but this can be traveling because it's Mars. So it's pretty active. It wants the truth. It's the seeker. It's the searcher for wisdom and knowledge. But then when we get further along that path, we get further away from the man-made stuff and we get closer and closer to the esoteric stuff and to the everlasting truths that just never change no matter what. But this would be fun for you. Travel would be fun. Exploring would be fun. You love going on adventures. Airlines comes up in a lot of different ways. Going across the bodies of water, long distance travel. There's all that Saggy energy. And, this might even, wow, you have a 0-degree Jupiter, I'm just seeing. So, oh boy. Yeah. If you're not using this to be creative, this energy can also come across, like I said, through spiritual practices, teachers, preachers, but also public figures and politicians. Publishing something, whether it's on YouTube or, in some other form or fashion. Creative energy is big, but leadership energy, Aries at the midheaven there, taking charge at a creative degree. Sometimes, yeah. Children, childlike energy, very physical energy. This can be fighting energy too, though. Sure can be, but you have work in Sagittarius. You have Saturn there, even at the frickin' Saggy degree. Wow. Big mystic rectangle, big Merkaba in your chart, big Solomon star in your chart. Yeah, you have manager and boss energy for sure as far as work, because you have Capricorn in the 6th house too. Anybody who has the Earth in the Earth houses, oh my God. Oh, and independent, like I work for myself possibly, or I said leadership, but also very independent and need my freedom. I lead the way, I'm first. Sometimes the Aries can be like race car drivers, they can be mixed with the Saggy energy. It's the goat, it's climbing, it's the ram, it's adventurous, can be impulsive, can be angry, but usually optimistic, but very serious. I think Aries at the midheaven is a good thing because it adds discipline and structure to the Mars energy that can just pop off at a moment's notice, like a child. But the Saturn energy, the long-term commitment to freedom and independence. Some of these people are builders. And then later in life, they end up kind of setting an example, because Aries energy, once it grows the hell up, it takes decades. Once it grows up, it ends up being like a spiritual leader. So Not sure where you are in your journey, but you have a lot of things, a lot of objects in your chart that do point to the spiritual path finding you at some point in time. Okay. Oh, good. It sounds like you. Somebody just asked about a Regulus thing. Did I see that real quick? Oh, Breeview. How are you doing? Breeview Awakening. Yeah, Regulus is the that king energy. Yeah, it's where this person really, really feels that they are the ultimate authority. That's it. I'm the ultimate authority. So depending upon, younger folks have Regulus and Virgo now, right? So their ideal of ultimate authority is somebody who is serving, like literally serving in a very practical, non-flashy way. Whereas people who have Regulus and Leo, oh shit, like they're highly dramatic. They are the ringmasters. They're going to be over the board, really colorful. Politicians, yes. Actors, actresses, people who are performing, putting on a performance. That is Regulus. You want a great example? Well, I don't even want to give a great example. I mean, I have the perfect example, but he's a very poor example of the energy, but he does express it because it is unbelievably prideful when it's in Leo. It's got its role. Its ideal would be to go to the opposite end, which would be Aquarius energy, and do what is best for all involved, and to not be a child, but to be an adult in Aquarius energy. Like that's, yeah. Yes, absolutely. He who shall not be named. Not worth. I can't go there. There's too much damage done. So, with that said, please confirm if my comments are going through. I'm trouble with them going through recently. Okay, so listen. I see Sean, your song 2022. I see you. I do see you. Please confirm. I do see you. Just so you guys know, when I'm looking at a chart, I'm not reading the chat. It's totally on a different screen. So that's why you're not going to hear me talking to you, because I'm reading a chart. I can't do both. And that's just the way it works for me. So if you did not get a reading today, and if you did send me an email, I will put your digits into my system. But you would have to remember to come back, right? Yeah. Just come on back. Because we're over. It's 5:46. I went like a half hour longer than usual. So we're going to end now. And you are welcome to come back. Anybody who has their chart, their digits, their information in my system, it's held in my system. It stays there. So you're welcome to come back. And if you definitely want a reading, then you could always email me. You could always send a gift to the channel. That way, when you do come to the live stream, I make sure that people who have already sent a gift, I fit them in. They they get put in, they get a spot, but it is first come, first serve. Okay. But I still find ways to make sure I weave them in and take care of them before the show ends, for sure. Okay. And then if you can't do that, if you don't have the means, that's okay. You just have to come back, and you have to have, you just have to wait. I'm trying to help everybody out. People who have the means and people who don't. Okay. So with that said, okay, good. I'm glad. Yes. Not trying to ignore anybody. I just only had time left for one reading. And yeah, you're all welcome to come back again. So this Saturday actually is normally when I would be doing the next live stream for this. But this Saturday is the astrology class. So the following Saturday, we'll be here doing the same thing. Or you can catch me during the week. The weekday, those are the surprise lives. I don't never really know what day they'll be on. It has to just kind of work out within the house. So it's either it's Monday through Friday. Usually it's been Monday through Thursday. or no, Monday through Wednesday that I've noticed consistently where the live streams happen. Like this week I did a live on Monday and I'm doing one today. So you just never know. Just make sure you put the little belly thing on or whatever, and then you get notified when I'm live. Okay? With that said, I think we're all done. If you're interested in whether it's the private live streams I do those too. Like the last Saturday of every month, we do the same thing, but we do it in a private format. Or if you're interested in astrology class or any other questions, sincere questions, just shoot me an email. All right? Other than that, we are out of here. And I just want to take one more second again to thank everyone who sent a gift to the channel. It allows me to keep doing this. It allows me to keep the ads off during the live stream and to be able to help those who can't afford a one-on-one session. Okay? With that said, I'm out. Everybody take care. Stay cool. And I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye.